What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Weekly Wrap. I am Lethal One Up, and guys, I mean, it's pretty obvious. We have some absolutely bonkers news to go over this week. In fact, it's something that I think is just still ongoing. There's something new every day that keeps happening from the story. Obviously, you guys know I'm talking about the big Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard, but we'll get deeper into that into this weekly wrap. I have 4 pieces of news. I'm going to take a break on the sales, put a pause to that. We're going to go ahead and remind you guys that we have other videos that are dropping on the 59 Gaming Direct channel. So do me a favor, if you haven't already, check out last week's weekly wrap. If you didn't miss it, be sure to check out the new episode podcast that just came out, episode 3. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's jump in now to the actual story. And that is the main one, and that is Microsoft acquires Activision Blizzard for $70 billion deal. This, I think, is, if not the biggest, one of the biggest acquisitions of all time. Now, I'm getting a lot of this information from Phil Spencer at Xbox Wire. I wanted to get, more of like a Xbox's official take. So basically, in Xbox Wire, the post begins welcoming the new incredible teams that are being added, right? These legendary franchises of Activision Blizzard now coming to Microsoft Gaming. It's just crazy to think that, like, over the years, obviously Crash Bandicoot has been kind of back and forth and everything, right? He now that, he was put with Activision Blizzard and everything, Twister Rob that worked on the last game, now that it's kind of been there, the games have been all over the place, so Crash has been used all over. But for me personally, he always just goes back as a PlayStation mascot. But to see him now, like, there's a good chance, nothing is confirmed, right? But it's a very, very good chance going forward, Crash Bandicoot is going to be an exclusive gaming wise. Like, the games going forward will be exclusive. Most like 99% the chance that that's going to be the case. There's only one game that we'll get more into it that is like the if and, or I don't know what's going to happen with it, but Crash Bandicoot is 100%, not 100%, 99% will be an Xbox exclusive going forward. And it's just crazy to me. It's absolutely nuts to me to think about that. But that is, one of the big, IP that is getting taken along with this acquisition. How about Spiral Guitar Hero? This Activision Blizzard, that is a big one to take up. I mean, that's a big publisher. That publisher has just a branch of all these different, studios and teams that they, have for them that make these games. And so Xbox just, Microsoft just taking that is just, that's huge, man. So basically, until this transaction closes, which is aimed in 2023, Activision Blizzard and Microsoft Gaming will continue to operate independently. A lot of people are probably wondering, what about Kotick? What's going on there? Essentially, he is rumored to be expected to leave after the deal closes, but it is not official. None of that is official yet. It's just very expected. And so there's more to the story. I'm going to go ahead and read into it now. So at the end of, the big Xbox Wire post, they had, of course, you would imagine they have to put a statement in regards to, like, how is work culture going to be? What are you going to try to fix? Are you making a promise, right, to help all these people that have been affected, by this terrible leadership at Activision Blizzard? So Phil Spencer said this: as a company, Microsoft is committed to our journey for inclusion in every aspect of gaming, among both employees and players. We deeply value individual studio cultures. We also believe the creative success and autonomy go hand in hand with treating every person with dignity and respect. We hold all teams and all leaders to this commitment. We're looking forward to extending our culture to proactive inclusion to the great teams across Activision and Blizzard. But of course, PlayStation even put out their own statement, was hoping that, like, hey, we expect, games like Call of Duty, right, the promises and the negotiations and deals that they had made with Activision Blizzard to be, still going on, nothing gets broken, everything stays. And so essentially, even a follow-up from that was Phil Spencer dropping a tweet that said, "Had good calls this week with the leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship." And so I read that. Initially, I even put up a tweet and I was like, hey, I've always liked Phil Spencer. I've never been anyone to, like, not like Phil Spencer. I think he's such a good leader, and I'm glad that, like, Xbox and Microsoft, they get to have him. I get a little nervous, not because of him, but because of, initially I was like, man, he's a good guy and he's doing the right thing. This is great to see, because Call of Duty is the one game where, like, it doesn't matter where you look, that game is just a top chart seller. It is always going to sell crazy amount of units. As much as we are in this gaming bubble where we all know, and We see everything going on with Activision Blizzard and whatnot. There's the real world out there, right? That has no idea of what is going on and are just buying games to buy games, you know, like a casual fan. And so regardless, Call of Duty sells all the freaking time, and has a pretty big, really big install base with PlayStation. And so when PlayStation put up that statement, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm curious what happens too, because that's a pretty big loss from PlayStation if, you know, going forward, a game like Call of Duty goes exclusive to Xbox, right? That'd be big. And you would imagine $70 billion deal, you know, Bethesda, I remember that was the whole thing, was like, you know, that was a big deal for the I think like 0.5 billion, I think, or something like that. But that was a pretty big thing. That was like in the beginning, you know, it wasn't never concrete if it was going to be exclusive and whatnot. And then eventually, right, it did become the whole like, it will exist wherever Game Pass exists. And so it's not hard to say, well, we're going to see that a lot of this reminds us a lot of that. And so a lot of people are thinking like that's going to happen with, you know, games like Call of Duty, which is huge. But to see Phil Spencer drop a tweet, that kind of makes it feel like, okay, hey, you know, they're planning on still keeping Call of Duty multi-platform game. We can go into, that was basically a mixture of my number 1, number 2 story. So going into story number 3 here, Kingdom Hearts. We finally got some news. I'm actually really excited about this because we officially got that on April 10th, they will be hosting a Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event in Tokyo. Pretty much, it'll kick off the 20th anniversary celebration with the mini concert, a chat and a Q&A with the development team, an exhibition of whatever that's going to be, and they're promising much more. They said a video of the event will be made available at a later date. This is really cool. I'm really excited to finally get some Kingdom Hearts news. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. Those of you that are Kingdom Hearts fans, let me know, what are you excited to see? I mean, Kingdom Hearts has gotten to the point where it's so complex. There's just so much going on. But if you played the games, you have a good idea of how to follow it at this point. But I know I've been dying for some Kingdom Hearts news, and so this is exciting because I hope we finally get, I imagine would be the look at the next mainline game. I mean, we already had Melody of Memory, so I can't imagine it's another side game. But give me your thoughts. This could potentially be the big, you know, Kingdom Hearts 4. Let's know more about it. But of course, there's more to this than just that. The entire Kingdom Hearts collection releases officially on Switch via cloud. That is on February 10th with an all-new all-in-one edition called the Integrum Masterpiece. And you can officially try out the playable demos of each of the Kingdom Hearts games for Switch, again, via the cloud. And also with the purchases of Kingdom Hearts 3 with Remind or the all-in-one bundled edition, you can get the brand new Advent Red Keyblade to use in the game, which actually looks really cool. I've wanted Kingdom Hearts on Switch for forever, and I know a bunch of you guys did too, because a lot of you guys told me. But a lot of you guys also told me, Lethal, cloud is not it. And I played it. I tried the demos because there's playable demos. The cloud version is just not it. It worked. Like when I played Kingdom Hearts 3, it worked fine. Then when I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and then Kingdom Hearts 2, it was garbage. It was so bad. And my internet, I don't think it's the best. I do have like the 1 gigabyte internet, but you know, that's not even the most like consistent itself. But regardless, I've done other cloud versions of games. Like I've done like PS Now and stuff like that, and usually I have no problems. This is a game where it is so fast paced, especially in like Kingdom Hearts 3, right? Kingdom Hearts 2. It is a much more faster paced game, stuff all over the place is happening. Like it is one of those games. And so this is not how you play the game with dropped connections. You have like freezing, stuttering and all that stuff. Like that's just not how you do it. There's even a point where I had like an audio issue where it wasn't in sync anymore. I was like, man, this is not the package. And so I don't want to sit here, I don't know, it's so weird because like I hate to sit here and say that, like, you know, don't buy it if you have a Switch and you've been waiting to get Kingdom Hearts. And then also the last part of this is the price, $90. At least this is US currency here, but $90 for the all-in-one bundle, the Integrum Masterpiece. $90 freaking dollars, with each one individually being like, I think 50, or not individually, but like the Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and then like the 2.8 and all that. It was like, I think $50, $40, $50. And I was like, what is this? It's really expensive too. So I don't know. Honestly, it's a big L. If anything, maybe hold off, because I do think they should at least see that people are not for this. And at least with Kingdom Hearts, it's such a game where you want that native version of it. You do not want to be sitting here with dropping frames and all that stuff. It's just going to ruin the experience, in my opinion. But yeah, that's enough on Kingdom Hearts. Give me your thoughts about that down below. Are you getting it, or just overall give me your thoughts about it? Going into story number 4. This is the final story. Majora's Mask is coming to Nintendo Switch. We're getting this from Nintendo Switch themselves. from their Twitter save terminated before it's met with a terrible fate. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask comes to Nintendo Switch for Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack members in February. When it was shown off, I was excited because I was curious when we're gonna get it, and we're getting it. You know, I was expecting them to drop this as like the last game they did or something. I don't know why, but it's cool to see that they are dropping it now, and I think it's a great time to drop it. Why not start the new year off pretty strong here from February? Which brings you back to the fact that, hey, good for them. They've been sticking to like a one monthly kind of schedule thing with the N64 games being added on. It's nice to see we got the Banjo-Kazooie that just got dropped. We know we had Majora's Mask coming in. We did get the Paper Mario that got dropped, and so I like to think that they're going to continue with a consistent schedule here, so good on them. I hope that really does end up becoming the case, so hopefully that continues. If you ask me though, you know, is the worth still there for the amount of money that you're not paying for this service? I don't know. The one game a month on N64 alone, definitely no, because these are really old games too. Of course, you know, it's Majora's Mask, right? This is like an iconic game, so maybe you can argue the value for it there. But you know, when you look at other, right, when you look at other services, right, like PlayStation Plus, you know, Game Pass or Xbox Games with Gold and whatnot, those are arguably, right, have more for it. But the one thing I've always argued, you know, it was like the online infrastructure. It was stuff more than just the games. You know, can they add some more things? And I found this pretty interesting that apparently users are saying that like the N64 emulation on their service has been updating certain games. Apparently Ocarina of Time got an update. For one of the maps, there was an issue, and apparently someone said they went back in and it was fixed. And so it looks like they are making sure to go back and improve and work on some of the past games that they're bringing in. And not just that, apparently they've been behind the scenes working on getting a new online server or online service to use. Not service, but more like a server, back-end server for their online games. Something that I think Monster Hunter Rise used, and it was really good and really helpful for their service. And so it apparently bringing it to Pokemon Arceus. But it's good to know that they are working on back-end stuff too to make and strengthen the server and the back-end stuff for their service all in all. So I think they're doing things. It's good to see, but I think, you know, this is still, in my opinion, it's still too soon to tell. I still think at this time right now, it's definitely not worth it, but let's see what they do over time. Sega Genesis games, we did get like a bunch get added in December. Don't know what happened for January, you know, is that going to be a month-to-month thing too, or is that maybe like an every other month type situation? I don't know, but I'm not surprised it's Nintendo. So give me your thoughts about this down below in the comment section. But yes, guys, pretty much this is it. Before we end though, guys, games that released this past week. We had Nobody Saves the World that came out on Series X and S, Xbox One and PC. That was January 18th. River City Girls dropped on PlayStation 5. That was January 18th. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel dropped. That's across every platform, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC. That was January 19th. And we had Rainbow Six Extraction. That is on PlayStation 5, Series X, Series S, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC. And that was on January 20th. Now we'll go ahead and we'll end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to go check out our past videos if you missed it already. If you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. If you like the video, please go ahead and like it as well. But really, give me your thoughts. I want to see more thoughts about your thoughts on the pieces of news here that we just talked about. Obviously, the big one, Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. That is such a big piece. So I really would love to see your guys' thoughts about it. I know a lot of you guys talked about it on Twitter, but I would love to see it here on the video as well. So let me know about that down below. And thank you guys for watching. I'm Lethal One Up, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.